bonjour, ici Sylvain Juteau. Je suis présentement sur la rue Saint-Jacques à Montréal pour l'ouverture du nouveau bureau de vente et service après-vente de Lucid Motors à Montréal. J'ai en ma compagnie, je vais te laisser te nommer, ma chère Sasha. Puis si je comprends bien, c'est le premier bureau point de vente de Lucid au Québec.
En effet. Donc, ici, on va couvrir tout le marché au Québec et les maritimes. Donc, ici, on peut offrir les essais routiers, on peut parler avec les clients sur nos produits, on va livrer les voitures et on va entretenir les voitures aussi.
Ah, ça, c'est fantastique. Puis, je vais montrer une photo plus loin dans la capsule, mais il y a déjà une dizaine de personnes dans l'équipe. Donc, génial, un méchant beau départ. Fait que là, Sasha, tu vas nous faire visiter les lieux. Je vais te laisser le micro. Puis moi, là, je veux tout voir. Là. Je veux tout voir. Pas de secret. Là. Monsieur PR, il est là, mais regarde, ça marche pas. Ça marche pas.
Parfait, merci.
Tiens, prends le micro.
OK.
C'est toi qui as la parole.
C'est la première fois. Donc, si je peux vous donner, faire le tour officiel, quand les clients vont rentrer ici à Lucid Montréal, l'entrée juste par ici, ils vont voir un de les représentants qui vont être assis. L'expérience après continue dépendamment de leur intérêt. S'ils veulent faire un essai routier, parler de chiffres, regarder les options. Nous avons dans la salle de configuration les options, les différents types de cuir, les différentes couleurs qu'on va retrouver dans la salle un peu plus intime de consultation.
On peut-tu aller voir?
Oui, en effet.
Après toi. Donc, OK.
On va retrouver les différents types de couleurs, les différentes cuirs, les matériels qu'on va trouver dans nos voitures Lucid Air. On peut voir dans la Santa Cruz, notre version Grand Touring. On peut aussi avoir dans la Touring les options Santa Cruz. On va retrouver les matériels haut de gamme comme notre laine d'alpaga. Donc, quand vous allez parler avec M. Dave de Californie, il va tout vous donner l'histoire de pourquoi on a choisi ces matériels, pourquoi on a choisi ce cuir, pourquoi on a choisi l'alcantara, c'est quoi le type de bois qu'on a choisi. Il y a beaucoup d'intentions en arrière, tous les matériels. Il y a vraiment des histoires en arrière de chaque présentation. Le Tahoe ici, la réflexion.
Comme le Lake Tahoe.
En effet, la réflexion durant un certain heure de jour avec la luminosité, avec l'eau. Donc, il y a vraiment une histoire en arrière. Oui.
Ça fait classe.
Ça fait très classe.
Ça fait unique aussi.
Très unique. Il faut savoir c'est quoi l'intention et pourquoi on a choisi ces matériels. Nos clients sont super satisfaits parce que quand on achète un véhicule haut de gamme, c'est des choses qu'on devrait recevoir dans nos véhicules.
Absolument, absolument. Puis en plus, le lieu est cosy. Hein? Moi, j'aime le décor. C'est qui le designer? C'est qui qui pense à tous ces designs intérieurs-là? C'est-tu quelqu'un à l'interne chez
on a
Lucid?
On a une équipe définitivement qui prend tous les détails de très sérieux. Quel type de meuble est-ce qu'on va acheter? C'est quoi le type de couleur? C'est quoi l'énergie qu'on va recevoir quand on est assis, quand on parle avec un aviseur de vente? C'est très important de ne pas juste regarder la voiture, mais l'expérience au complet. Donc, quand les vendeurs vont discuter de prix, de trouver un endroit un peu plus privé, de s'asseoir, à recevoir un breuvage, un café, un thé, de prendre notre temps avec les clients.
Une belle expérience.
En effet.
Comme ça, ils vont s'en rappeler longtemps.
Définitivement, c'est notre intention.
OK. On continue. C'est quoi la prochaine étape?
Oui. Donc, une fois qu'on a pris le temps de connaître le client, leurs besoins, on peut définitivement leur faire un tour du studio et leur offrir un essai routier s'ils sont intéressés.
OK. Donc, on va aller voir les voitures, c'est ça?
Oui, en effet.
OK.
Allons-y!
Yeah!
Aimeriez-vous que je vous présente M. Dave pour qu'il puisse vous donner plus une idée de les différents matériels? Je vais vous présenter.
Absolument.
Parfait. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Dave Butchko. I am with Lucid Motors PR.
Hi, nice to meet you, my
Nice to
friend.
meet you. Nice to meet you.
So you're part of the Lucid team since what time?
I started in September of 2020, so just as we were unveiling the production version of the Lucid Air.
So almost 3 years.
Yes.
So you're a senior in at Lucid Motors.
In lucid terms, I guess I am. Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, the founders, I think, when did they created the company? Their ex.
Well,
Tesla.
Yes. So there's a lot of ex-Tesla people that were involved in the formation of the company. It's sort of a two-part story. The company actually has existed since 2007 when they started as a battery manufacturer, but then they made the transition to become a car company in 2015.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay, 2007.
Yes. Well, they were making batteries mostly for commercial applications like hybrid buses and things like that. But then they got the idea to actually take it to the next level and create a car company. So.
Ah, wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yes.
Okay, so thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Sasha? Okay, let's get to the car.
On va continuer
On s'en va
notre
aux voitures.
aventure. Allons-y. Donc ici, les gens peuvent acheter des chandails, des tasses de café pour supporter notre marque. Parfait. On continue.
Donc, on voit la belle.
La belle Lucid Air Grand Touring. Donc, cette voiture ici montée sur les roues, présentement les roues 21 pouces, c'est notre Stellar White modèle avec 830 km d'autonomie et juste en dessous, en haut en fait, de 800 forces de chevaux. Quand elle est montée sur les roues 19 pouces, on va atteindre le complet de 830 km. Et n'est-ce pas, M. Joutot, vous avez déjà eu une expérience en hiver avec la Grand Touring?
Absolument. J'ai fait 450 km, mais il me restait un 40 d'autonomie. Donc, j'aurais pu faire plus de 600 km. Il faisait quand même, c'était pas des gros froids, mais quand même moins 7 degrés, moins 8 degrés. Donc, ça veut dire que j'aurais pu faire théoriquement Montréal-Toronto sans même faire un arrêt, ce qui n'est pas mon cas. Là. Moi, même durant mon 450 km, j'ai dû arrêter à mi-chemin là, pour les besoins, puis prendre une petite marche, puis bon. Mais pour les inconditionnels qui sont capables de faire 600 km sans s'arrêter pendant 8 heures de temps, ben vous avez la seule voiture 100% électrique sur le marché actuellement qui peut le faire. Donc, puis évidemment, on n'a pas parlé de technologie dernier cri comme le 800 volts, donc plus efficace, des meilleures performances de recharge. Donc, évidemment, c'est une voiture haut de gamme, dernier cri. Donc, ceux qui veulent le top du top, bien là, évidemment...
Pas de compromis.
Pas de compromis.
Aucun compromis.
Exactement,
Ouais.
exactement. Donc... Ah ben oui, il faut montrer l'intérieur.
Ça fait un bon temps que Dave vous présente les différents éléments choisis pour cette voiture.
Okay, so Dave, apparently you can explain why it's that type of leather, that type of material, and there's a philosophy behind it?
Yes, there is. Yes,
Okay.
There are two philosophies, really. One is part of the vision for the company, besides creating the longest range, fastest charging electric vehicles in the market, was to create a luxury vehicle that, in addition to the long range, would give an experience that would encourage people who don't drive electric luxury cars to get into a car where they feel like, okay, I'm not really giving anything up in terms of my luxury experience.
No compromise.
No compromise, exactly right. So we curate the finest leathers. We use Napa leather in the interiors of the Lucid Air. It comes from a company called Bridge of Weir in Scotland. And, and that's significant for a couple of reasons. One is the quality is very high. They also supply leather hides to people like Bentley. Yeah, but one of the reasons we chose them was that they're also a carbon neutral operation, completely. Okay. And so
that means they use renewable energy.
They use renewable energy. You know, the way the cows are raised. You know, for example, part of it also has to do with the quality. Where the cows are raised, they don't use barbed wire. You know, so there's no marks on the hide, you know, before.
So they're respectful.
They're very respectful, absolutely. So sustainability was really a big part of, in addition to the quality, of trying to create a different sort of luxury environment. You know, so for example, the woods we use in the interior of the car are all open pore woods, so fewer VOCs. It also has a little different look. It's not that shiny, polished wood that you sometimes see in luxury cars. It has a bit of a different look. But then we're also trying to create a different luxury environment. So it's a bit more, it's California cool, right? It's a little more laid back, a little more low key, mid-century modern kind of vibe, if you will. But really thinking through a lot of that. For example, even the wool material, the cloth material you see in the interior, it comes from wool from alpaca, not sheep. Why is that a big deal? Well, alpaca, two things. Apparently, I've learned, alpacas grow their wool a lot faster than sheep. Oh, yeah. Apparently, who knew?
They're more efficient.
They're more efficient, there you go. But also, alpacas are different colors. They're not all white, so we can use the natural color of the wool in the interior, which means fewer dyes.
Yeah, which are like toxic, right?
Exactly right. Exactly right. So a lot of thought went into it from that perspective, both in terms of the quality of the material and the environment inside the car, but also with a view to sustainability.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. I'm very, very happy.
Yeah.
It's really nice to have you guys here in Montreal, in Quebec.
Une autre chose que je peux vous dire, à l'intérieur de la voiture, on va retrouver beaucoup de moderne, on va trouver aussi beaucoup de traditionnel. On a adapté la technologie, l'écran flottante, l'écran au milieu qu'on va vous montrer maintenant. Dave, peut-être, if you don't mind sitting in the passenger seat, we can have Sylvain, we can have the roule électrique team sit in the front with you. Mais le principe, c'est d'avoir pas juste des écrans, mais aussi des boutons pour être capable de rapidement changer de quoi. On a aussi évidemment notre feature de voice command. Si vous connectez votre compte Alexa, vous allez être capable de tout faire avec votre voix. Maintenant, le principe de mise à jour va toujours marcher. La voiture va devenir de plus en plus avancée avec le temps. Et puis, on a voulu garder, continuer l'évolution, mais aussi garder le traditionnel. Voilà.
Ah, fantastic, fantastic. So can you sit in the passenger and show us like this? D'ailleurs, c'est une des choses que j'aime le plus, c'est le tableau de bord, je dirais le poste de commande. I love very much, the screens, how it's... I know, intuitively, I know it's very well thought out. And maybe you can show what we can remove. Well, I can show it.
Yeah,
we
sure.
we can
push the arrow and hold it for a second, and then let go.
and then it goes, right? Yeah.
Now, well, and besides being a really cool party trick, the reason we like to show this because this is just everything in the car, in terms of the design, has been around maximizing the amount of space we can get in this vehicle, both in terms of passenger space, but also in terms of storage space, both all over the car. So this is just a small example, but for example, in most cars, that space would just be lost. You know, there would be a screen or something there, and you
lose.
right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
You know, and just as a small thing, the other nice thing, of course, is if you do put something there, and then close the screen, now whatever is back there you can't see. So if you leave something there and the doors are closed and somebody's walking by, they're never going to see what's in there.
It's secure.
So it's somewhat secure. Exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and I like the there's no frame. There's no frame here. Like,
That was a very intentional decision. Our senior vice president of design, his name is Derek Jenkins. He really wanted to. He liked the idea of creating sort of a cockpit environment, like in an airplane. So having one piece of glass that goes all the way over was really, really important to him. And so we've been able to do that. There are some challenges, of course. You have to have the sun visors. So we put those there. What's kind of interesting though is we have the sun visor. It does have a lighted mirror, no wires.
Yeah. So this designer, was he the designer of the Model X?
No. You're
the same guy.
Not the same guy. No. You're thinking of Franz.
Sorry, I had to ask.
No. You're thinking of Franz von Holzhausen.
Yeah.
But you mentioned before about Tesla connections, and one of the key connections, and this is where we really get the vision of what Lucid is as a company, and that is our CEO, who's also our Chief Technology Officer, Peter Rawlinson. He was the chief engineer on the Tesla Model S.
Yeah.
Back in the day. And so, we've all had those moments in our lives where we think back to decisions we made in the past and think, oh boy, if I could do it over again, what would I do differently, or how could I make it better? What I did better. This is his do-over.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Great.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's what we need. That's how we get innovation, right?
Because and kudos to, I'm not trying to take anything away from Tesla, kudos to Tesla, but the Tesla Model S really was sort of like electric vehicle 1.0. And so the trick is now, what defines the electric vehicle 2.0? And that's kind of where we are with the Lucid Air.
Yeah, well, it's awesome, that that explosion of innovation.
Yes.
That 1.0 car created.
Of course, absolutely.
So that's
absolutely. We wouldn't be here if that hadn't happened.
Yeah.
I mean, we totally understand that. Not taking anything away from what those guys did. Companies like Lucid would not be here.
Yeah, and we know Elon Musk, but I think that it doesn't say it directly, but he respects what Lucid is doing.
He follows us very closely. I think.
On Twitter.
Well, I think part of it is I think he he won't admit it now.
Yeah.
But I think he respects Peter Rawlinson in terms of Peter's capabilities as an engineer, but also in terms of the vision.
Okay. Yeah.
But I think we're not. Our goal is to advance the adoption of electric vehicles, right? So this is the first. You're sitting in the first electric vehicle that's been rated by either the US EPA or Transport Canada at over 800 kilometers of range. I don't think we'll be the last one.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Because now we've shown yes, it can be done.
You created the standard.
Yes. Yes.
And
we think that's good for everybody.
Yeah, definitively. Yeah, I totally agree with you. Well, the more choice there is, the less reason people will say, "Oh no, I cannot buy an electric car.
Right.
There's not the one that fits my ends." You know.
Yeah.
Now, they're gonna those trolls or those resistance. Let's call it like that. Yeah. They won't have any arguments. And Roulet's electric mission is that everybody in Quebec is driving an EV and is using electric technology, zero emission technology for transportation. Yeah. That's our goal. Yeah. We want every people from Quebec, to use our our clean hydro electricity.
Yes.
and so we can get rid of fossil fuels.
I think that's a goal. That's a goal that we all share, and I think that and great that you guys are on the forefront of pushing that from a different direction than just car companies like Lucid. But that's why the two things in the vision and the mission for Lucid and Lucid Air was to not just create the longest range electric vehicle, but also to create the fastest charging electric vehicle. Because I'm sure you've heard that the two arguments you get is, well, I can't go far enough, and the other thing is, well, if I have to charge, I'm going to be sitting there for hours. But with this car, because we use higher voltage than everybody else, if you plug into a 350 kilowatt charger in this car, then you could get like up to 500 kilometers in just over 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really awesome.
Yeah.
Now we need to get those 350 kilowatt chargers
Yes.
installed, but that's another mission, I guess.
Yeah, right, okay, yeah.
I've seen that you have a nice charging station, level 2, 48 amps charging station. Do you have a mission to install those chargers as maybe destination charging station in hotels and public space, or
that's not really part of our vision at this point. But when we created the wall charger that we are now offering to our customers, it's not just a 48 amp charger, but you can actually install it on a 100 amp circuit. And for example, with that, it's a lot of power, I grant you, but if you use our charger at home, plugged into a 100 amp circuit, then you could get like 130 kilometers per hour.
Okay, you get 80 amps, right?
Yeah.
It can go up to 80 amps.
Yes, exactly right.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there again, you can get like I said, up to 130 kilometers per.
Is that charger included with the car, or it's an
not
option?
included. It's an option.
How much do you sell it? Do you know?
I don't know what the price in Canada is. I'd have to ask Sasha. I think it's $1,200 in the U.S., but I don't know.
Okay, that's about 1,500 Canadian.
Okay.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So next step is to visit the service, I think, right?
Sure. I mean, we can show you the electric motor. We can tell you a little bit more about that.
Oh yeah, I want to see all that.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay.